Hello, guys. My name is Meekin. This is Michael. We have taught these classes for the past 2 years, and recently we updated the curriculum to something new, and that's why we're having this kind of training to go over some things that are going to make your week easier for you, more smooth, more flow to your weeks, and like less stress. Just some basic things to go over. I'm gonna pull up some files. Michael, do you want to go over just how the week is structured and like what to expect?
Mhm. All right. So each week you're going to have two camps. So one in the morning and then one in the afternoon. And you're going to have about 30 minutes in between them. And during that time, you can it's either going to be at the same school or be at a different school. Hopefully, you'll get someone better at the same school because then you can just kind of stay there. You don't have to pick up your stuff and move. It'll be in the same room the whole day. And you can just kind of eat lunch there. But otherwise, you'll drive to your next school and do your next camp there. But in the morning and in the afternoon camps, you'll have a little break with the kids that it's about 30 minutes long. So you have like a snack time with them, and then you'll bring them out to recess. And there's only a few schools that for recess, like you have to stay inside. And when that happens, you can just pull up like a video on your computer, play it on the smart board, something to just kind of like take their minds off of it, let them like get some energy out or like have them talk to each other, just to let some energy out of them. So when you get to the schools each week, we want you to make sure that you're there at least on the first day that you're there. So Mondays, that you're there about 30 to 20 minutes early, just so you can get your bearings around the school and make sure you talk to all the faculty there. They're going to be your first line of defense when you face any issues and stuff like that before you contact me or Andres or Meekin here. They're going to be kind of your right there for you since you can talk to them in person. So if you have any issues like connecting to Wi-Fi or if something's blocked on their Wi-Fi, definitely go talk to them because they're just right there and it's a lot faster than like having to type out an email and then waiting for me to reply. They're just gonna be like right then and there. So make sure you're super nice to them. They're kind of your lifeline. And you're gonna get a list of all the kids, usually each week, probably a day before or the day of, from Andres or from the school itself. And with that list, it'll kind of tell you all the kids on it, and that's super helpful to have because it will tell you like if they have any allergies or disabilities, stuff like that. So it's super helpful to look out for. And it also can help you when you go out for recess just to like make sure all your kids are back in, you didn't like lose one outside or anything like that. And it makes it a lot more organized. And if someone isn't on your list, you can kind of keep them in the class, let me or Andres know, and we'll get them admitted into the course. Is that anything to add, Meekin?
Right, right. Those are good points. Those are important. Just to preface, I want to say this job offers a lot of freedom on your end on how you want to run your classes, how you want to do things, how you want to teach, how you want to go about things, as long as you're getting through the material and you're prepared. Um, what Michael said about the schools, usually you go to the schools and either they are a big school that has been doing these programs for a while and they have everything set up. They have coordinators, they have supervisors, they have assistants for you, whatever. In that case, you just follow their lead, do what they say, and then go teach your class. Everything else is super easy, like taking them out to little having a 15-minute break or when to start packing up or when to start. They're gonna handle all of that for you. On the other option, if the school is a little bit smaller or hasn't like had programs like this before, it's going to be a little bit more on your plate to make sure that you show up early enough to set up. You have a roster with all your students. You make sure everyone's there when they come in. You make sure everyone is there when they leave. You kind of time your breaks in between accordingly. There's no exact timestamps that you guys have to follow on the dot. It's just whenever there's some good closing points, whenever there's some good stopping points in your curriculum, then you can go take them out. Be outside for like 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes max if they really needed like let some energy out or something like that. Um, you don't have like a direct supervisor like looking out after you or like hovering over you or anything like that. Like I said, your class, you can you can be laid back. You can have them call you by your name. You can have them call you Mr. Whatever. It's like the teachers we've had in the past are super, they vary a lot. And as long as you're getting through the material and as long as you're fostering like a creative, collaborative environment for the students to like engage and learn from you, that's what's most important. Another big thing is that you're gonna be the lead teacher in your classes most of the time, and these students look up to you, and you have to make sure of two things. One, you're knowledgeable. You don't give too many I don't know answers to your students when they ask questions about especially things about the curriculum. It's inevitable that you may not know some of the questions because the age range is like 8 to 12, so they're going to ask some weird questions sometimes. But you can look this up on your phone. You can go to your teacher's laptop, look it up. It's just quick problem solving, and it shouldn't be too hard. Just remember that you don't want to look not credible up there, because then it's really hard to get through the material. It's really hard to get your class listened to you. Don't let the students walk all over you. You want to that's the other point. You want to make sure you are firm with them. You're not like rude or mean or anything like that, but you are the teacher. If you are too laid back, you won't be able to get through any material. You won't be able to have any structure in your day. You won't really get them to listen to you. They'll be talking the whole time. And the downside of that is usually going to be upset parents that pick them up and they don't know what their child has learned or anything like that. The environment should be fun. You can be laid back. You can let them collaborate with each other and everything. But please make sure they are getting something out of these classes, because you have 3 hours with them 4 times a week. So that's your AM, and then you have your PM classes, which is the 1 and 4. So within those times, you want to make sure you're getting through material, and throughout the week you will bond with the students will bond with you. You want to make sure you get to know their names. They're gonna definitely know your name, and you want to structure your days, and so that on the first day you know how long it takes you to introduce yourself, get to know the students, demonstrate the introduction, get your program rolling. Days 2 and 3 are kind of the meat of the week, where you are just it may just be a lot of work time for the students, and you may not have that much teaching to do up front in front of the class or anything like that. You're just getting through a chunk of material, right? And on the 4th day, it's more or less a wrap up day. Like, you let people finish their project, do what they want to do, and then kind of save it, let them present it, let them share, something like that, and then upload it onto their USB drive, because that's part of the program. They'll bring their USB drive at the end of the week to take their project home, this virtual project. We want to make sure that every student takes something home. In the case that they work on like a group project, like if 3 students want to work on 1 laptop, like that's fine. You can have them do that. But as long as each of their USBs gets the project, and they get to go home with it as well. Or like I said, there's a lot of freedom on your end. If you don't prefer to do that, you can have your rule and you can say, no, everyone has to work on their own laptop. Like, this is kind of just up to you. Just make sure, it just goes smooth and you get the ball rolling. But that being said, it's not a very difficult job at all, as long as you're prepared. Make sure all your laptops are charged, you have enough mouses, enough extension cables, whatever you need, and you'll figure that stuff out pretty fast. After your first week, you'll have everything down. The first week may be a little bit daunting, but you probably won't be on your own either. You'll probably be assisting someone teaching that class, or you'll have an assistant. So it's usually a pretty smooth transition. But did I miss anything from starting points, Michael? All right,
I
so
don't
what
think so.
can you guys remind me what camps you're teaching?
I'm teaching the Minecraft Pokemon world and Minecraft World Edit.
Okay.
I think I'm teaching the exact same thing too.
Okay.
Yeah, you should be all teaching that class. You should be.
Can you guys see my screen?
Can I ask something before I gotta get going here, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. As for material, are we receiving that like today? Is this what you're walking through, or are we like getting like a PDF file or something sent to us?
You're gonna have this
So
you're gonna have this Google Drive shared with you. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
over the stuff, but you're gonna have it shared to you and you'll have access to it for the entire summer. And you'll probably,
Okay, so
make sure
you'll
you-
do that today then? Okay, sorry, Michael.
Yeah, just check your email because I talked to Andres and he said he was gonna send that out yesterday. So check your email, and if he doesn't send it out by like tonight or tomorrow, please email me, and I can
Okay.
get that out for you.
Yeah, that sounds good. I appreciate it. But yeah, I gotta get going. So I appreciate you guys' time, and I'll talk to you soon.
sounds good. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. Well. So Minecraft adventures and Pokemon adventures. But before we get into that, we're gonna go over just this for all teachers folder. No need to read the IT message for camps. That's random, but there's a quick guide for teaching young students. Like I said, this is just the combination of some advice and some like previous teachers thought this would be a good thing to have for you before you start teaching and just read over. You know, you don't want to have unnecessary stress on yourself. You just want to make sure you're prepared with everything. There's just a checklist of things that you can do to make sure that you're well prepared for the week. Students handling behavioral issues, handling technical problems. Usually you won't really have behavioral issues. This is a super rare thing. I mean, it's in moderation. If you have some students talking over you in the back of the class or something like that, that's a problem you can solve on your own. You can just, tell them to not do that. You can take, and that they need to listen. But if they start getting a little bit too disrespectful or like causing too much of a scene, then you get in contact with the coordinator there. Usually they're going to be right in the lobby. They're going to be chilling outside of the doors because there's going to be a lot of STEM camps. There's not just going to be you. There's going to be almost all the rooms are going to be full of someone teaching a class. So there's going to be a lot of people there for you to be able to say, hey, I have a student that's really misbehaving and it's disrupting my class, and they're going to take that off your hands. But that even that's like pretty rare. It should never get to that case, honestly, but that's just still a safety net for you guys. Private discussions, if a student wants to tell you something privately, just make sure you address that properly. Collaborate with support, whatever, just please foster a good environment for them to learn, and that's pretty much the gist of it. Technical problems, again, this is on a gradient too. If it's a small technical error, a small technical thing like your student can't open up an app or something like that, you can problem solve that. But if it's a Wi-Fi thing, like maybe the school got a website blocked or something, you can coordinate with or you can talk to the coordinator, the supervisor, whoever's there, and they can problem solve that really quick. And if it's worse than that, you can just get in contact with Michael and he'll come to you and solve that. But yeah, it usually doesn't really go farther than just small troubleshootings in the class. Interacting with students, like I said, over the 4 days. 4 days not a long time, but it's enough time for them to really get to know you to get to know them. You're gonna build a bond. Every week is different. All your students are different, and you want to build rapport. You want to make sure that you're using your students' names. You're not like, hey, or like, you don't want to be the teacher that doesn't know any of the students' names for all 4 weeks. And surprisingly, we've had some, or all 4 days, and surprisingly, there have been some teachers in the past that just refuse to, I don't know, put in the effort to learn it. But just please get to know your students' names. Makes everything easier. Encourage participation and encourage active listening. You want to make sure your students are listening to you when you're instructing them, because you don't want to be problem solving on 20 different laptops for individual students. That is going to take you like 40 minutes just to solve like a small issue that you went over in the class. Make sure they're listening to you and they're following along with you. You want to be loud and articulate. You want to make sure you're walking them through everything you do at a decent pace. They're young students, so sometimes they need you to repeat it or repeat it a third time, which is fine. But just adjust the pace of your class according to your class's needs. And like I said, all your weeks are going to be different. You're not going to have the same group of kids every week. They're gonna be completely different. Some of them are gonna be really well behaved. They're gonna fly through material and it's gonna be as smooth as week. Or some of them are really gonna be hard to like tell to sit down and do your work and listen to you. And then that's gonna take you a little bit more effort to, get through that week. But once again, this is kind of in your hands. This is what comes with that, your class thing. Teaching guide. Another thing for that you can read this on your own time. It's just about teaching STEM classes. Like it's better to show and tell rather than just to tell. You want to make sure that if you're telling them to do something, you're demonstrating it for them on a smart board. You have a teacher's laptop, you're going to plug it to the smart board. They're going to see what you do because you're teaching these technical camps. Then we have a file for the tic-tac-toe laptops. This is the code for all the laptops. It never changes. Good to just have this memorized because all your students are on the first day. They're always going to ask you, no matter how much time you tell them in the beginning, they're going to ask you. They're going to forget. This is going to be your password policy 24 spend for literally everything you could possibly need. It's like the universal password. I don't think you guys will be needing this, but it's there if you do. This is just like an info sheet, just for all the teachers to have. With that being said, you'll have access to all of these camps, just so all teachers have it. In the rare case that you need to like cover for someone or someone needs to cover for you, all the instructions and the guides are in here. Another good thing is that you can play these guides on the smart board. And for example, this is the Pokemon Adventures training manual. And if you don't know what to do or what to say, or if you get anxious or something like and you can't I don't know, get through the material, you can just play this on a smart board, right? Like you can explain it through, or this thing will explain it for you, right? You can just like have them walk through these steps. It is definitely preferred and encouraged that you are vocal and you walk them through everything. You like present it in a way that they can understand it, what all of these blocks do, what this drop down does, why it's a drop down, like, and then like the small features of like programming and STEM, you want to just be able to get that through to your students. But it happens sometimes. Sometimes you have a really big class, sometimes you get nervous, whatever, but this is your safety net. You can have this playing on the smart board. Obviously maybe not these slides, like the preface and the pre-camp preparation. Again, just another checklist for you to have just in your head. Like you don't really need to like go in and check this, but you'll have a mental checklist by the end of your first week about what to have. And just make sure you arrive 20 minutes early, especially on your first day. If it takes you less than that, or if you leave your materials there or anything like that, maybe you can come in like before 20 minutes on your next days. But the first days are super important. That's what you set the tone for the week. Yeah, please set it like in a manner that's you're professional, you're welcoming, and you are gonna get things done in that class. So make sure you're not late or anything like that, especially on the first day. More checklist. This is just a bunch of stuff. Day one, character design. There are these projects that you can go through, and there are general guidelines in terms of time. But I want to say this: teaching a classroom is a very organic environment. You're not going to be able to cut things off at 30 minutes on the dot and move on to the next thing and then cut that off 30 minutes later. It's usually free flowing, and you kind of have to regulate that. These are good general guidelines. It would be nice to follow them, but most of the time they don't get followed to the T, and that's fine. Once again, this is the freedom on your end to kind of direct the class and direct the flow and direct the pace of how it goes. You can get through all of these really quick if you want to and move on to more stuff. But if your class can't go that fast, then it's okay to only do, some of these and maybe jump around, and you can pick some of the projects you think would be more suitable for your class level. Or if you want to do everything from day one, and it seeps into like day two, then that's okay too. Then you can just make sure you speed up day 2 or day 3 just to compensate or something like that. But just make sure that you are regulating the pace well, and you're regulating the tempo of the class and what they're learning and the projects that are getting done. Because you want them to have, once again, like some of these projects, you're going to be able to download a PDF, download an MP4, download a file, a Minecraft file, a Roblox file, or whatever it may be, a Scratch file, and then you just upload that. But you want to make sure every student does have something to take home. Again, pretty basic, just more things for you to go through. Again, it would be preferred that you explain it and teach it to them, but worst case scenario, you have just directly what the answer is. This is what you're trying to get them to have, right? So that should not, it should be another reason why the class shouldn't be that stressful for you. You literally have all the answers. There's not like a ton riding on you to like teach and develop on the spot or up there. It's all on here. You can play this on the smart board. More stuff, just different kinds of projects. If your class is really advanced and all your students are like a little bit older and they fly through this, then have them do some extra credit. Like I'm sure you guys are familiar with some programming concepts or something like this, right? That you could kind of give them an extracurricular to do, or like give them an extra project to do or something like that, in the rare case that they fly through all your material. But that shouldn't be the case because there's quite a few here. But then just a note. That one is the Pokemon one. The Minecraft one is essentially the same exact thing. I won't go into crazy detail. So it's all the same thing in just a different font, and it looks a little bit different. But you have all your projects, day 1 code, day 2 code. You're building an enemy here. You're good collectible, bad collectible, whatever. All of this. You can just go through on your own time, depending on what you're teaching for that week. And then the World Edit Camp. I don't see a World Edit Camp here, but I know that it will be in this folder for you when you have it. That being said, there's no like presentation. There's still like the World Edit guide here, which you should still read over. It has all the instructions about downloading Forge, downloading World Edit as a mod. It's really not difficult at all. You just want to make sure that you have this done on all your laptops before your week start, so that you're prepared and you're not like trying to install the mod in the classroom in front of your students individually for their laptops. That would be a disaster. So make sure everything works and is properly ready to go. Like I said, all you really have to do is download the 2 software. They should honestly probably be there already. You just want to make sure that they're there. Updating it and then implementing it. It's all in here, like step by step by step. But then the day by day instructions right now, I don't see it in here, but it'll be in this drive by the time you get it. Michael, am I missing anything?
Yeah. I don't think so. You covered a pretty good portion of it. But even though we don't quite have the slides or something for the World Edit thing, don't think that's like a humongous like detriment to you. The past years we've never used like slides to put on like on the whiteboard or whatever, smart board. It's just kind of a new thing we're adding to kind of ease you into it a little bit more. But don't think it's like you have to have these slides in order to succeed at your job. Before we just had a bunch of paper copies that were basically what's in the World Edit right now.
Yes. So the World Edit Camp, what it is it's Minecraft using the World Edit mod, and then all 4 days are 4 separate projects. So once again, with the freedom of the teacher, you can change these projects up. I will have the file in here with the 4 distinct projects or the guides that you can follow. But if you want to tell them, okay, we're going to build a neighborhood, or we're going to build a town, or we're going to build a giant mansion, or we're going to, whatever project you think is fit for the level of your class, you're free to kind of instruct that. because we're getting through the material through Minecraft World Edit mod. That is the camp, so that you are going through the material by implementing that mod into Minecraft and having your students do projects. So like I said, I'll have the projects up there or the slides with the projects on there, but you can deviate from it to an extent to adjust to your classroom's needs.
Mhm.
That's it. That's all I got, honestly.
I have a question for preparing the computers. If I have like 4 people rostered, do I only need to prepare 4 computers for World Edit, or should I prepare all of them?
So yeah, if you have 4 students on your roster, you want to make sure you bring 5 or 6 just in case something goes bad. You don't necessarily need to bring all 24 or however many you have. That being said, though, you won't have the same number of students every week. So next week, if you have 12 students, you'll want to make sure you have 15 laptops prepared. So that's kind of up to you. If you want to prepare all of them at once, that's up to you. If you want to prepare 5 right now and take the 5 to the school, that's fine too. But the thing I'm trying to say is you don't need to bring all your laptops and all your materials if your class is extremely small or not necessary.
But I would just want to add for like downloading stuff, I would make sure you have like all of your stuff downloaded on all your laptops, even if like it doesn't seem like if you have like 2 weeks of just like not a lot, the next week could be a bunch of students. So make sure you have everything downloaded on it, at least on all the laptops. But I mean, if you really are stressing about like there's a lot to do, download and stuff, do what you have to for like the certain amount and then slowly work on it over time if that's what you're asking. For like downloading what I already downloaded CurseForge on most of them.
I was just kind of curious if I need to like bring all the computers and such.
Oh, okay, then yeah, what Meek had said then. Sorry about that. Sorry for the confusion. You guys have any other questions?
Do we leave the computers on the site that we bring them to through the duration of the camp, or do we bring those home each day?
So, depends on if your AM and PM camp are the same. If they're in the same location, I think you can leave them there. You should double check that with Andres and the school site. You want to make sure the school's okay with that too. It kind of depends. But not if you have different AM and PM classes, because you're obviously can't leave it at your PM class when you need to take it to your AM class. But yeah, if they're both the same and the school has you know, they're okay with you leaving it and they can tell you that nothing's gonna happen to them, like, then that's kind of up to you. Please double check with Andres though. That's not,
Yeah.
I don't, that's not my call. But any other questions? No? Okay.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, that's all I got for you guys. Michael,
If you guys do have any future questions, just let me know. Or if it's a big emergency, text Andres or something like that. But I mean, obviously go through me first and then we can figure it out from there. But yeah, otherwise, I hope you guys have a good first week and let me know if you run into any issues and I can help you out.
Yes.
Thanks a bunch.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.